Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. We are just trying to bring out the screen, so we are not able to. There's some technical issues, so just give us a few minutes.
The thing is really hard. How do we go into the thing? How does Anna project himself? I completely forgot. Add to stage, is it?
It's already added to stage.
No, that is there. I've come into the studio, but how do you take off that Swamigal banner and how will Anna has to bring him with?
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sorry for the 2-minute delay. Just had a technical issue to get into the stream. I hope everybody is able to listen, all those who are joined online. This today the class is in New Jersey. I think we did the Nyasam part for the Saptashati, and we did the first five shlokas. So today, before we start, everybody together will chant the Durga Saptashati Nyasam together and the first five shlokas, but do it very slowly, because there are many who are learning online and also there are many new learners. So for them, it will help if we are able to do it very slowly. And those who are all present here, please make sure your phones are on mute. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Asya Shri Saptashati. Sorry. Let's take the Nyasam for the Durga Saptashati. No. Om Prathama Madhyama Uttama Charitranam Brahma Vishnu Rudra Rishayaha Kali Mahalakshmi Mahasarasvatyo Devata Gayatri Krishna Shobhaschandamsi Nanda Shakambari Bhima Shaktayaha Antika Durga Brahmaryor Bijani Nirvayu Surya Tattvani Rigvajus Sama Veda Dhyanani Shri Mahakali Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Devata Ityarthe Jape Viniyogaha. Om Gora Gadini Chakrini Tatha Shankhini Shapini Mana Bhushundi Parikayudha Angushtabhyam Namaha Shulena Padino Devi Padi Khatkena Chambike Ghanta Swanena Nappagi Chapajyani Swanena Cha Darjanibhyam Namaha Rajyam Rakshapatichyam Cha Chandike Raksha Dakshine Brahmanena Pashulasya Uttarasyam Tatheshwari Madhyamabhyam Namaha Saumyani Yani Rupani Trailokye Vichavantite Yani Chatyartha Ghorani Tairakshasmas Tatha Bhuvam Anamikabhyam Namaha Khadgashula Gadadini Yani Chastrani Tembike Karapallava Sangini Trayasman Raksha Sarvatah Kanishtikabhyam Namaha Sarvaswarupe Sarveshe Sarvashakti Samanvite Bhaye Vyastralino Devi Durge Devi Namostute Karakara Karaprishtabhyam Namaha Khatkini Shulini Gora Gadini Chakrini Tata Shankhini Chapini Bhana Bhushundi Paridhayudha Hridayaya Namaha Shulena Padino Devi Padi Khatkena Chambike Ghanta Swanena Nafadi Chapajyani Swanena Cha Shirase Swaha Rajyam Rakshapaticyam Cha Chandike Raksha Dakshine Brahmanena Shurasya Uttarasyam Tatheshwari Shikhaye Vashate Saumyani Yani Rupani Trailokye Vichavantite Yani Chatyartha Ghorani Tairakshasmas Tatha Bhuvam Kavachayagum Khadgashula Gadadini Yani Chastrani Tembike Karapallava Sangini Tairasman Raksha Sarvatah Netratrayaya Moshate सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते भवेभ्यस्त्राहिनो देवि दुर्गे देवि नमोऽस्तुते अस्त्राय फट् भूर्भुवः सुवरोम् इति दिग्बन्धः ध्यानम् विद्युद्गामसमप्रभां मृगपतिस्कन्दस्थितां भीषणाम् कन्याभिः करपालखेटविलसद्भस्ताभिरासेविताम् हस्तैश्चक्रगदाशिखेटविशिखांश्चापं गुणं तर्जनीम् बिभ्राणामदलात्मिकां शशिधरां दुर्गां त्रिनेत्रां भजे पृथिव्यात्मने गन्धं कल्पयामि आकाशात्मने पुष्पं कल्पयामि
वायुवात्मने धूपं कल्पयामि ब्रह्मज्ञात्मने दीपं कल्पयामि वम् अमृतात्मने अमृतं कल्पयामि सर्वात्मने
समस्तोपचारान् समर्पयामि। ॐ नमश्चण्डिकायै ॐ ऐं मार्कण्डेय उवाच सावर्णिः सूर्यधनयो यो मनुःकथ्यतेष्टमः निशामय तदुत्पत्तिं विस्तराद्गततो मम महामायानुभावेन यथा मन्वन्तराधिपः स बभूव महाभागस्सावर्ण्यस्तनयो रवेः स्वारोचिषेऽन्तरे पूर्वं चैत्रवंशसमुद्भवः सुरतो नाम राजा भूत् समस्ते क्षितिमण्डले
तस्य पालयतः सम्यक्
I think we So from here we have to learn. So last class we explained the Saptashati Nyasam. The Saptashati, which has three charitram, Prathama, Madhyama and the Uttara Charitra, three charitras. And I explained the first Prathama Charitra has one chapter, Madhyama Charitra, three chapters. And the third Uttara Charitra having 9 chapters totally. And we also discussed about the Rishi, Chandas and Devata. The Devata is the Mahakali for the first Prathama Charitra, and then Madhyama Charitra is Mahalakshmi, and Uttara Charitra is Mahasaraswati. We also had a discussion about the Chandas, which is for this Saptashati mantra, the Chandas is the Gayatri, Ushtik and Anushtup. I also explained the basically the Chandas, which is normally the poetry meter in English, because any poetry will have a fixed number of syllables in each line. So the Gayatri meter or Gayatri Chandas will have 24 letters, which will be divided into 2 parts, the first part and second part. So the first part will have 16 syllables. So 8 plus 8, which is 16 in the first part. And the second part will have 8 syllables. So that is the Gayatri. So 24 syllables are divided as 8 plus 8, which is 16, and then 8, right? Any Gayatri you see, you can see that how the 16 plus 8 is being in 2 lines. And then Gayatri Ushnik meter has 28 syllables, which is 7. So it will be 14 plus 14. So the first line will have 7 plus 7, 14, and then second also 7 plus 7. So that will be like or there are other methods of also splitting. So Ushnik. Then the Anushtup Chandas will be, it will say 8 plus 8, which is 16, and then 8 plus 8. So for us, the Ushnik has other rules also, like how it is being split. We don't have to go into how, but it will have 28 syllables. But Ushnik, it's clear, it is 8 plus 8. And sorry, Anushtup. Anushtup is 8 plus 8, 16, and 8 plus 8. And most of the Durga Saptashati mantras will be in the Anushtup. So 16, which is split as 8, 8, 8, 8. And how we will chant is that when you split the 8, if it is a hraswa or a short vowel, you will still pronounce as a short vowel only. You will not elongate it. A short vowel will be pronounced a or e like that. It will not be elongated to a long vowel or like that. So even if they at the end of the first 8, because there could be others who elongate even that, but I just want to make sure that in the Bhaskara Prakasha Ashram, if it is a short vowel, we will only it will be short. Only when at the end of that 16, a short vowel will not be abruptly cut short, but a slightly more matra or time will be given. Only if it comes at this 16 or 16, not after 8 or 8. And also, when there were many questions about people starting counting each the Durga Saptashti Shloka and see what Chandas is and all that. So it does not mean that the first Charitra is always all of them in Gayatri Chandas, and then second, because none of them is in the Gayatri Chandas. So, and then the Madhyama Charitra is the Ushnik and then the Uttar Charitra. So people got confused like that. So these Chandas also has another meaning, which is Vedas. The meaning for Veda is in Sanskritam is called Chandas. So Chandas also means Vedas or the knowledge. So because any Chandas, knowledge comes through the mouth, right? When we speak, it comes through the mouth. So that is why we the Chandas, we touch the mouth or the tongue, the organ which is responsible for speech, the vak or speech. That is why the Chandas we touch. And do not confuse with this Gayatri Chandas. Is this Gayatri? Don't count the syllables and say what, because most of them, these are all those who do the Sandhya Vandanam would know that there are like 7 basic Chandas: Gayatri, Ushtak, Anushtup, Brigati, Pankti, Trishtup, Jagati. All of them are the 7 basic Chandas, but there are so many other Chandas, maybe more than hundreds. Because even then, like say Gayatri Chandas, giving example of the complexity, when we say Gayatri Chandas 24. So when something has one less, 23, then say Nirchit Gayatri. So it will have one less. So in Ganapati Upanishad, it said Nirchit Gayatri Chandaha means that meter has one less than 24. I'm just giving, there can be so many different types, because everybody got confused with what is there is Prathama Charitra Gayatri, and that it has nothing to do with any of the shlokas, right? Our Durga Saptashti shlokas will have so many other different chandas. So the point is, the chandas for Durga Saptashti is Gayatri, Ushnik, and Anushtup. That is the point. Because I just wanted to clarify with so many questions coming about the chandas. So we will start the class. Tasya tairabhavad yuddham, tasya tairabhavad yuddham, tasya
tairabhavad yuddham,
ati prabala dandinaha,
ati prabala dandinaha, ati prabala dandinaha.
Then when I combine yuddham and ati, I will combine as yuddhamati. So you will not say yuddham and ati. Only for splitting I am giving. So make sure this is just for knowledge purposes. For chanting, it is not being used. In fact, when I learned, it was not split. It is only for meaning purposes that it is going to be split like that. But for chanting, we could actually learn as Tasya Tairabhavad Yuddha Mati Prabalada. Because that is not the right word, right? It is not Yuddha and Mati. So, because the Mati has another meaning, like intelligence, right? So, that is why Ati means more, Mati means different, right? Intelligent. So, you have to be very careful with the words in Sanskritam. Small change will make a big difference. Some of the changes will be opposite meaning. So, we have to be careful about every letter in the Devi Mahatmyam. As I explained, all the 700 are mantras, and it is also considered as one mantra. That is why we do the nyasam for entire 700 together before, and then at the end we do the then we again do the anganyasa and end that, do the dik vimokam. And that is why we do not say like iti markandeya purane. I explained in the last class, right? Because the Bhashakara say, when the moment you say iti, then the phalan for that is gone. So because that is only given for our knowledge. Iti markandeya purane means this is given, that this first adhyaya is for the madhu. The main theme here is Madhu Kaitaba Vadha. But as a mantra, that is not important. For you to know that Madhu Kaitaba Vadha is a theme, that is why it is. But you don't have to chant that. That is why we chant completely only the mantra part. Because if you see any book, right, the Gita press book, if you are using, you will say that at the end, all of this. So then you may have a question why it is not chanted. At the end, it says, Iti Markande Purane, Savarnike, Manvantre, Devi Mahatmyam. This is given every end of the chapter. And every chapter has like a Dhyana Shloka. Every chapter has a Rishi Chandas Nyasa. Why we are not chanting? Because somebody might be asking. Because so this is why when you learn from in a Gurukulam or from a Guru, these are the things the Guru will teach. But the book will not teach. The book, if I read from a book, you read from like, there are so many sources of knowledge in the internet. It will give 100 different types of knowledge, but you will not get the correct knowledge because we don't know how it is being chanted if it is to be chanted as a mantra. So if it is also a Purana, because this is from a Purana. A Purana is a story, but our rishis have extracted this from a Purana. In fact, this is the only Purana which is a mantra, and this is the only Purana which is used to do a Homa. There are so many Puranas, right? There is a Ramayana. We don't do a Ramayana Homam or a Mahabharata Yoga Homam, or there are thousands of Puranas available. We don't do, except Devi Mahatmyam, because that alone is the mantra. So, Tasya Tairabhavad Yuddhamati Prabala Dandinaha.
तस्य तैरभवद्युद्धमति प्रबलदण्डिनः तस्य तैरभवद्युद्धमति प्रबलदण्डिनः
न्यूनैरपि सतैर्युद्धे
न्यूनैरपि सतैर्युद्धे न्यूनैरपि सतैर्युद्धे
Somebody said the volume is low. I hope it's okay. Nyunairapi satairyuddhe. Nyunairapi satairyuddhe.
न्यूनैरपि सतैर्युद्धे
Kola vidhamsi bhirjitaha.
कोलाविध्वंसिभिर्जितः कोलाविध्वंसिभिर्जितः
So, yuddhe. So, the dha is the Mahaprana. Yuddhe, it is not yuddhe. So, are you able to see from a sound, you should be able to get the difference. That is very important. That is why when you learn directly, you get this, right? Particularly, everybody says when we learn directly in one class, we are able to fully grasp if we are actually sitting in the class. Online is also useful because but I'm so happy all of you could come here directly to get this, because when you are in the present of the Guru, first time you learn, it just comes. So you should subtle differences, right? Yuddhe and yuddhe. Later on, if somebody says yuddhe, you will feel the difference. When you are new, when you are not familiar with the Sanskrit language, for you yuddhe and yuddhe are the same. They will not even find the difference when I say yuddhe or yuddhe. But you should be able to figure out the differences. Yuddhe, then kola, kola vidvam is wrong. Why I said vidvam? You may say kola vidvam. That is what it is, not kola vidvam. Kola vidvam. See, dha, dha. It's a Mahaprana. Kola vidvam. Again, it is not sibir jitaha. It is sibir jitaha. Sibir jitaha. You get the difference. But the way you have to say is that, because at the beginning, in the Durga Saptashati, they have a rules for how the Durga Saptashati as a mantra should be chanted. So they will say that you should not move your body and all that. So initially, when you are saying say bir and all, you have to put a lot of energy. But once you are really perfect, you will say that kola vidham jitaha. So you have to be still, but you have to give every Mahaprana. But initially, you have to give that stress. Kola vidham jitaha. But after learning, it should come naturally. Once it comes naturally as a sound, then you can be like still. But the sound will come. Without moving our body, we have to say like the way it should be chanted. That comes with practice. But initially, make sure you focus on those Mahaprana, particularly those who have learned whose mother tongue is Tamil. It will be a bit of a challenge if the mother tongue, because most other languages in India, it's not a challenge, except the Tamil language, because all other languages have differences, except Tamil. Right? Tamil, you say ka for 4 syllables is only ka. Ka, ka, ga, ga. So all those 4 in Tamil is only ka. Right? That is a challenge in Tamil. But for others like Telugu, Kannada, for them that it is not a challenge, because the mother tongue has already all of these differences like Sanskritam. So that is why I am saying there are many who learn from use the Tamil book. They find it very difficult because of not able to understand that there is actually there are 4 variations to the one sound. That is why, because from the childhood you are not hearing, right? So like somebody says Sukham in Tamil, right? Immediately it will, to me it will strike. It is not Sukham, it is Sukham, right? This Kam is Brahma, Sukham means it's another meaning. To me it is, so it's a good Brahman, right? That is what I will get when you say Sukhamarka, means to me it is. So Sukham is the happiness. Sukham is different. I'm just giving example of small subtle differences in the sound. You might be thinking why we are giving so much importance. The meaning later on I will explain that everything, even a small simple one letter change will make completely different meaning. For example, arthi means wealth. Sarvasya. So then you have another thing, Sarvasya arti hare devi. That arti is the most negative, all the biggest problems one can face. That is arti. So Sarvasya arti means, hare means remove, right? So arti means wealth. You cannot say arti, remove the wealth. You are saying you remove bad things. So arti means bad things. Arti means good thing. Right? So how smallest, even the name, right? When somebody, I will call them Arthi, because I know that the parents would have given them a good name, that is wealth. They will not give a bad name, like, right? They will only say it, because that is why you call the Arthi, means all the wealth, right? But Sarvasyar, then you will know Sarvasyarthi Hare means remove. What is that you are praying to Devi to remove? Arti or Pida or the bad, like most, humans can, the most bad emotions humans encounter, those are called arti. So then all the arti for everyone, please remove is what you are praying. You understand now? That smallest, subtlest change, it is not the same, right? Every small letter will be different. Everything. That is the, see, the Sanskrit dictionary is like that. Every one word will have like 25, 30 synonyms, because in other languages we have limited words, so there is no issue. Here we have for one word 100 synonyms sometimes. Because of so much, they have to differentiate every word, so that subtlest differences are there in every word. Yeah. And all the mentors who are teaching, right, this is also a lesson for them, to make sure that when they teach, they make sure that the person learning is able to get these differences. And also you should assume that not many will be familiar with all of this, even though their mother tongue could be Telugu or Hindi, even though they are in their colloquial, like the way they speak, they do not give this importance to the exact pronunciation of every word when they speak. Because when you speak, the language, the spoken language can change drastically, and you don't have to give that much importance to spoken language, right? That is why somebody was saying about Sanskritam, because I wanted to make sure everybody understands the Sanskritam is called Deva Bhasha, the language of gods. Because it is a Deva Bhasha, it is not spoken. Because they said, is Sanskrit a dead language they were doing? Because it is dead language, like Latin or something, because it is not spoken. That's what they think. Because it is not spoken, it is dead. No. Even before, when everybody was a Pandita, the Pandita cannot speak Sanskritam outside as a spoken language. You understand? This is very important. Sanskritam becomes Deva. But why, you may think, why if Sanskritam, why not let it be a spoken language, right? It's so great language, Sanskritam, which is done perfectly. So because it's called Sanskritam, because it's a perfect language ever in any, take any language, it's the perfect. If this language is so perfect, why not use that for spoken language? The rishis already know that any spoken language will vary at least every 50 miles. Every 50 miles, the same language will vary, the way it is spoken, and every 50 years it will vary. So if anything is a spoken language, today if Sanskritam was a spoken language ever, today this will not be the original Sanskritam. That is why if you read like Shakespeare, you will not understand, because that English is totally different from what they were speaking, because every time it is going to change, right? Because of the change, and how can we prevent that change to be happening? That we don't use it as a spoken language. You give that as the Maha Saraswati, as the Vag Devi. Saraswati, the language itself is Vag Devi, and that Vag Devi is the goddess of speech, and that is the Sanskritam, and that is the language we are learning. You understand? I'm not trying to make it so difficult for everyone. This is not the point. But once you get to the subtle things, when I am saying, it will be easy. First few classes, it may be difficult for you to actually get the exact sound. And how to get the exact sound? Somebody is asking, how to get the exact sound? Not from the script, not from reading. You go back, play this video, and listen to that only through the your hearing. Because the Vedas, when they were giving all this sound, right? How did they give this sound? Because how at the initially they will have to see, they will say take an insect, or they will take a bird, and then they will say the sound of this bird is this sound. The sound of combination of these three birds will be this sound. That is so, because again you have to hear, right? I'm saying like I'm inventing a new language. I have to say what the sound is, right? So how will I say then? Because if nobody, like we are first humans, then how do you teach? That is, so the birds were there, so they will take the sound from the birds, different birds, and then give that particular sound. For all of you now, it is easy. You can just play back this recording, and the good thing, like in a YouTube, you can also slow the speed. You can do different speeds and slowly get the exact sound. न्यूनैरपि सतैर्युद्धे कोला विध्वंसिभिर्जितः
न्यूनैरपि सतैर्युद्धे कोलाविध्वंसिभिर्जितः न्यूनैरपि सतैर्युद्धे कोलाविध्वंसिभिर्जितः.
So now I will say the two lines. Tasya tairabhavad yuddhamati prabaladandiнаha न्यूनैरपि सतैर्युद्धे कोलाविध्वंसिभिर्जितः.
तस्य तैरभवद्युद्धमतिप्रबलदण्डिनः न्यूनैरपि सतैर्युद्धे कोलाविध्वंसिभिर्जितः. तस्य तैरभवद्युद्धमतिप्रबलदण्डिनः न्यूनैरपि सतैर्युद्धे कोलाविध्वंसिभिर्जितः.
So first I will give the half of, and then I will give both the two lines together. Tata swapuramayato nijadesha-dhipo bhavat. So here again, Nija Desha Dhipo, Adhipaha, right? Adhipa means the commander, king. So Nija Desha Adhipaha means the ruler of the land. Deshaha, land, Adhipaha. So it is not Adi, the Adhipaha. Then Abhavat. So there is a word Abhavat, but you don't say Abhavat because this is the A is silent there. But how you say that is Nija Desha-dhipo, you extend that po slightly and don't give a breath. Very important. If you give a breath, then it is wrong because then it becomes Nija Desha-dhipo bhavat. After po, if you give a breath, so now this is a new nuance, new subtlety, right? So even the change of giving a breath at the wrong place can alter the meaning. So it is not just the words there. You are now thinking why it is so much complicated, this language, because that is a Deva Bhasha. It is because it has to be perfect. So when somebody chants, like that is how the Vedas, which has been maintained until today, without any change. There has been no language, nothing, no literature which has been maintained as it is for even 4,000, 5,000 years, any number of years. But why has this has been maintained, right? Because they learn it correctly, and somebody, if they want to write it from the sound, they can actually write every syllable, every word correctly. That is the extent. So when you say, they should know that Desha-dhipo bhavat means, then that's I am giving that extension of po means it is that is this avagraha. Avagraha means in the book, if you are in a Sanskrit book, there will be yes symbol. Have you anybody known this yes symbol in the book? You know that, right? So it's called avagraha. Yes symbol is avagraha, and avagraha should not be chanted. You understand? Avagraha means it not be chanted, but then how come you will make sure the meaning doesn't get altered? By extending the po. If you don't extend the po, the meaning gets altered. It becomes, instead of abhavati, it becomes bhavat. Right? Bhavat is different. Opposite of bhavat is abhavat. So here there is abhavat, but you don't say a. So nija desha-dhipo bhavat, and no breath after po. Two things: extending po and no breath after po. So any letter which just precedes the avagraha, which is the yes sound, any letter which precedes it, you have to extend that previous letter and also do not give a breath. This is the rule. But once you practice, you will get it. So I'm just explaining you because this is going to be there in this Devi Mahatmyam so many times, maybe 500 times you will get this in so many verses, right? It can come in many times, but I'm not going to explain you again and again. So I'm because in the first chapter I'm explaining, because later on it will go fast like other chapters. I'm not going to explain. So those is very important that even those who joined recently the classes should make sure that the previous first classes, right? Because every class I would be introducing some nuance. They will be different from each class. So you have to go to every class and make sure you understand those nuances. Tatasvapuramayato nija desha-dhipo bhavat. Tatasvapuramayato nija desha-dhipo bhavat.
Tatasvapuramayato nijadesha-dhipo bhavat.
Akrantassa mahabhagas.
Akrantassa mahabhagas. Akrantassa mahabhagas.
So I just said bhagas because it is easier for you to chant, although the word is bhagaha, bhagaha. So that the visarga santi, that gaha will change into is sound. So for our chanting, is the most important thing. But there is no word like bhagas. It is bhagaha. But for chanting purposes, because the next we are the visarga santi, gaha, this visarga is going to become is sound. Taistada prabala ribhihi.
Taistada prabala ribhihi. Taistada prabala ribhihi.
So prabha soft. Then prabala ribhihi, right? That ba is different. So the first ba, prabala ba, that ba is different. Then prabala ribhihi, that is different. So there are two variations in the same word. Akrantassa mahabhagas taistada prabala ribhihi.
Akrantassa mahabhagas taistada prabala ribhihi. Akrantassa mahabhagas taistada prabala ribhihi.
Now I am going to do the two lines together. So when I am saying the two lines, look at me. Yeah. See the mouth, because this is the most important thing. Book is always with you. Then you can go back to the book. You can maybe for a pointer, you can keep your finger in that particular place so that when you come back, it's easier. But more important, look at me. Even those online, look at me when I chant the two lines. Tatasvapuramayato nija desha-dhipo bhavat. Akrantassa mahabhagas taistada prabala ribhihi.
Tatasvapuramayato nijadesha-dhipo bhavat. Akrantassa mahabhagas taistada prabala ribhihi. Tatasvapuramayato nijadesha-dhipo bhavat. Akrantassa mahabhagas taistada prabala ribhihi.
So again, akrantaha and sa becomes akrantas is. So although the book will not have is sound, that is why I am saying don't look at the book. Book does it have is akrant? It only say akrantaha, right? Akrantaha sa. So if you don't say the is, again the meaning will change, because then you are not saying akrantaha, you are saying akranta. So the visarga also will change the meaning. Akrantas. tassa mahabhagas. Bhagas, because again the visarga, right? Bhagas tais tada, taihi tada becomes tais tada. So many visarga. Taihi tada becomes tais tada prabala ribhihi. That is the word. Amatyair balibhir dushtair.
Amatyair balibhir dushtair. Amatyair balibhir dushtair.
Again, the word is dushtaihi, but I am just saying dushtayar because that is how we have to combine. Durbalasya duratmabhihi.
Durbalasya duratmabhihi. Durbalasya duratmabhihi.
Amatyair balibhir dushtair durbalasya duratmabhihi.
Amatyair balibhir dushtair durbalasya duratmabhihi. Amatyair balibhir dushtair durbalasya duratmabhihi.
So I am getting comment that the volume is low. I for online, I hope it's correct because somebody is still posting it's low. I don't know whether others are getting it okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Amatyair balebher dushtair durbalasya duratmabhihi.
Amatyair balibhir dushtair durbalasya duratmabhihi. Amatyair balibhir dushtair durbalasya duratmabhihi.
Kosho balam chapahritam.
Kosho balam chapahritam. Kosho balam chapahritam.
Tatra piswapure tataha.
Tatra visvapure tataha. Tatra visvapure tataha.
Kosho balam chapahritam. Tatra piswapure tataha.
Kosho balam chapahritam. Tatra visvapure tataha. Kosho balam chapahritam. Tatra visvapure tataha.
Amatyair. Now I am going to say two lines together. Amatyair balebher dushtair durbalasya duratmabhihi. Kosho balam chapahritam tatra piswapure tataha.
Amatyair balibhir dushtair durbalasya duratmabhihi. Kosho balam chapahritam tatra visvapure tataha. Amatyair balibhir dushtair durbalasya duratmabhihi. Kosho balam chapahritam tatra visvapure tataha.
Tato mrigaya vyajena.
Tato mrigaya vyajena. Tato mrigaya vyajena.
Hritaswam yassa bhupatihi.
Hritaswamyassa bhupatihi. Hritaswamyassa bhupatihi.
So swam yassa. Swamyaha becomes swam yassa. Tato mrigaya vyajena hritaswam yassa bhupatihi.
Tato mrigaya vyajena hritaswamyassa bhupatihi. Tato mrigaya vyajena hritaswamyassa bhupatihi.
So it is bhupati. Bhu. It is not bhupati, it is bhupati. Get the difference, bhupati and bhupati. So the name is Bhu means what is Bhu? Earth. The name of earth is Bhu. So the Lord of earth. So Bhupati. Ekaki hayamaruhya.
Ekaki hayamaruhya. Ekaki hayamaruhya.
Jagamagaha Gahanam Vanam.
Jagama Vanam. Jagama Vanam.
So it is Gahanam. Ha. Jagame. See here, this is the problem, right? The previous word, Jagame. Then the next word is Gahanam. The ha has similar sound like ga. So instead of saying, you might tend to say, because this is how our mind always sees the previous letter, and then we'll try to match that sound. This is how our back of the mind, like without our knowledge, it works. It is not our problem, but this is how our mind's working is. It always sees like a patterns. If it sees a pattern, it will continue that pattern. Even when the pattern changes, the mind will still be that same pattern, right? We have to alter that, right? So, Jagame, ga. Then, Gahanam. So, you should not say Jagama, Gaganam. Gaganam is different word. Like Gagan means like Akasha, right? So, Gaganam is different, Gahanam is different. So, Jagama, Gahanam, Vanam. Gahanam Vanam.
Jagama Vanam.
Ekaki Hayamaruhya Jagama Gahanam Vanam.
Ekaki Hayamaruhya Jagama Gahanam Vanam. Ekaki Hayamaruhya Jagama Gahanam Vanam.
So now two lines together. Tato mrigaya vyajena hritaswamyassa bhupatihi ekaki hayamaruhya jagama gahanam vanam.
Tato mrigaya vyajena hritaswamyassa bhupatihi ekaki hayamaruhya jagama gahanam vanam. Tato mrigaya vyajena hritaswamyassa bhupatihi ekaki hayamaruhya jagama gahanam vanam.
So the word like vya, right? So there are matras, like a hrasva has one matra and a dirgha has two matras. And the sound vya, ya will have one matra, and iv is also there, right? So when you chant that vya, we have to stress it. Stress is not like if there is a ka, you should not stress it to ka. That is not the stress I'm talking about. It is like elongating, like the way I will explain how it should be chanted, the technique. So you have to elongate ya, tato mrigaya vya. You see how we say vya? Then the matra, you have to give like matra is a sound. If you are giving like one instead of 1 second, you have to do 1.2 seconds or 1.1 seconds, slightly more. But how it will get is you have to the technique is elongating the previous ya. Tato mrigaya vyajena. Do you get that subtlety of how I say vya? So because I heard you all saying, reading from the book saying vya. In the Padashala, when they teach, you will know the difference that it is not vya, it is vya. For you have to, for it's like for a musician, a small change in the swaram will be, they will say this is wrong. I have not learned music, so for me, of course, everything will be the same. If I don't know music, right? I'm just saying the smallest subtle variations. We have to train our ears to get the subtle sounds, because normally our ears are not trained for subtle sounds. For us, everything is same. Sa is same, somebody says pa is same, male sa is same. For me, every variation, sa, re, ga, everything is same, right? Because if you are not a musician, for a musician, they will have even re is a re 1, re 2. For me, are re 1, re 2, re 3. They will say all the same, right? I'm just giving an example how the smallest subtle variations you should get. So particularly this where there are these two letters join. It's called in Sanskritam Samyukta Akshara, means joint letters. It's called conjoint letters. when there is a conjoined letters, the matra which we have to, matra means the time you give that chanting, that particular word is slightly more. Because it is not like 1.5. Like if is like here vya, right? Ya is 1 and if is like slightly more, right? It is like a point. If you assume 0.5, so if 1 plus 0.5 will not be 1.5. It could become 1.25. So you should not. You have to only give that much extra matra. So you listen to this. Tato mrigaya vyajena. Are you able to see? And I will say without how from a book if I read. Tato mrigaya vyajena. So do you get the vya? For me, it is still because I'm so used to saying the correctly. I cannot say that. But when you are chanting, I could see that you do not get that vya. You understand? Everybody is clear about this because this is not one place here. Samyukta means the joint aksharas. Every sentence in this Devi Mahatmyam will be having one Samyukta akshara or two. It is common across the board. When it is common across the board, how do you learn? You learn one place well. So if you learn one place wrong, you will do the same mistake 1,000 places. Understand? So that is why it is. If you continue to, it is not because of practice. That's what I'm saying. So somebody said, I am doing the same thing. I am getting negative result. It's a bad result. So what should I do? What are you doing? I'm doing the same thing again and again. It means it will have the same result. So 1 plus 1, I said 3. So again and again, 1,000 times I do 1 plus 1, 3. The result will still be wrong only. But first time you get it correctly, then it will always be correct. So if there is a mistake, what you should do? Change that. So you try to change what you have been doing slightly, then you will get the correct results. That's the main thing. Doing the wrong thing many times is not going to make it correct. Right? Doing, very important. So it means learn the first time correctly, and whenever the next class, when you are learning, even before I explain, you will know that this is a conjoined letter. So conjoined letter is 2 letters joined. It is iv and ya, right? Vya is iv and vya. Then you can say, oh, this is another conjoined letters. Like hya. Tato eka ki haya maruhya. Do you get that? Because again, hya. Eka ki haya maruhya jagama gahanam vanam. Yeah. Eka ki haya maruhya jagama gahanam vanam.
Eka ki haya maruhya jagama gahanam vanam.
So now do slowly both lines together. All of you. Yeah.
Tato mrigaya vyajena kritaswamyassa bhupatihi ekaki haya maruhya jagama gaganam param. Tato mrigaya vyajena kritaswamyassa bhupatihi ekaki haya maruhya jagama gaganam vanam.
So perfect. So very good. I correctly get this because these are all subtle things, right? This is not like in a book. You cannot. Can anybody write a notation for these words? It is not possible. Only through the Shruti, hearing. Satatra shrama madrakshid.
Satatra shrama madrakshid. Satatra shrama madrakshid.
Dvijavaryasya medhasaha.
Dvijavaryasya medhasaha. Dvijavaryasya medhasaha.
Sata, again, ashra, right? Shra is also a conjoined letter. Why? Because it's a shra and ra, right? It is again 2 letters joined. So whenever this, you can just get every word, there are many letters in Sanskrit where we will have a conjoint or 2 letters joined as 1 letter. Satatra shrama madrakshid vijavaryasya medhasaha.
सतत्राश्रममद्राक्षी द्विजवर्यस्य मेधसः सतत्राश्रममद्राक्षी द्विजवर्यस्य मेधसः.
Again, the ksha, because the ksha is again two letters joined. It is not one letter. That is why I give this ksha. I give you extra matra, ksha. You should not say ksha. Ksha, it is ksha. How do I get this? Again, it is two letters joined. Is the ksha sound comes. And also the madrakshid, right? Just for those who want to know, the letter will be actually the pada. If you give this letter individual without the sandhi, it will become kshit, it. But the it will become id. So for our chanting, it is only id only. So you just say id. You get that? Yeah. Satatra shrava madrakshi dvijavaryasya medhasaha.
सतत्राश्रममद्राक्षी द्विजवर्यस्य मेधसः सतत्राश्रममद्राक्षी द्विजवर्यस्य मेधसः.
Prashantashvapadakirnam
प्रशान्तश्वापदाकीर्णम् प्रशान्तश्वापदाकीर्णम्
munishishyopasobhitam.
मुनिशिष्योपशोभितम् मुनिशिष्योपशोभितम्
Prashantashvapadakirnam munishishyopasobhitam.
प्रशान्तश्वापदाकीर्णम् मुनिशिष्योपशोभितम् प्रशान्तश्वापदाकीर्णम् मुनिशिष्योपशोभितम्.
Can you guess like one the notable Ditvakshara, the two conjoined letters in this line? Can you say? Shwa. Good. So you are able to now find. So the beauty of learning anything, one thing correctly, is that once you learn one correctly, then if you have to say learn Bhagavad Gita, or you want to learn Ramayana, or anything, or Narayanam, anything you want to learn, all Samskrita will have the same rules, what I am saying. So do not think this chanting rule is for Devi Mahatmyam alone. Then anything you can just read from a book. Because at that time when you are reading, say you are now reading Narayanam from a book. Now you will think, you will not just read like now you know that every subtlety in that Narayanam, every word you will now know. If you are learning Bhagavad Gita, you will know every subtlety of that what you are learning, and then you can learn yourself. You understand? But what is the main important thing? You have to learn the first thing correctly. Then all the others you learn. Somebody said, when they came to me, like they said, oh, Lalita Sahasramam, they were expert because many places they were given the mic and they were chanting. So they asked me how is the chanting, right? So I had like a very difficult thing to, because I don't want to say, because they are always chanting in front of 1,000 people in the mic, right? Like they are the leader. So I didn't want to say that every line will have at least 25 mistakes or something, right? I'm just saying why, because there are so many subtleties. So what they were saying, thinking is, I learned Lalita Sahasram, I learned Vishnu Sahasram, I know like 100 different shlokas. Because I have learned 100 different shlokas, I will be very good in chanting. That is what they were saying. I said, if you are good in one chanting, 100 shlokas you learn, all the 100 you will be good. But if first one is bad, what will happen to all the other one, right? In your pure milk, which is pure, you put something bad in one drop, everything gets impure. Same thing, first thing you learn. So it is not the quantity you learn. What I'm stressing is, you cannot say that why this person is telling, because I have learned from a childhood thousands of slokas. I know so many slokas, then how can I be wrong? Because I have been chanting 1,000 slokas, but did you learn at least one sloka correctly? You did not. So if you do not learn even one correctly, quantity is not going to help you, because the quantity will only reinforce the wrong thing. You understand? What will a quantity do? What is the quality of a quantity? Is to reinforce the good thing or bad thing. If it is good, it will reinforce the good thing. If it is bad, it will reinforce the bad. That's the main thing for quantity. So 2 lines together, you all chant again. Satatra Ashram. Yeah. Tatrashrama madrakshit vijavaryasya medhasaha prashantashvapatakirnam munishishyopasobhitam. Tatrashrama madrakshit
vijavaryasya medhasaha prashantashvapatakirnam munishishyopasobhitam.
So prashantashvapada. That Shwa, right? Prashantashvapada. Prashantashvapada kirnam munishishyopasobhitam.
Prashantashvapadakirnam munishishyopasobhitam.
So shobhitam. Shobhitam, you have to get that. Tasthau kanchit sakalam cha.
Tasthau kanchit sakalam cha. Tasthau kanchit sakalam cha.
So tasthau. Ta is the alpa prana, ta. Then thau, which is the mahaprana. Tasthau. So both. So some languages, tasthau will be having only one letter, right? Both for ta and tha. But it is tasthau kanchit sa. So again, you say it's a dvitvaksharam. So how I say it's a tasthau kanchit sakalam cha munina tena satkritaha.
Tasthau kanchit sakalam cha munina tena satkritaha. Tasthau kanchit sakalam cha munina tena satkritaha.
Itaschetascha vicharams.
Itaschetascha vicharams. Itaschetascha vicharams.
Tasmin munivarashrame.
Tasmin munivarashrame. Tasmin munivarashrame.
Itaschetascha vicharans tasmin munivarashrame.
Itaschetascha vicharams tasmin munivarashrame. Itaschetascha vicharams tasmin munivarashrame.
So I will say 2 lines together. Tasthau kanchit sakalancha munina tena satkritaha. Itaschetascha vicharams tasmin munivarashrame.
Tasthau kanchit sakalam cha munina tena satkritaha. Itaschetascha vicharams tasmin munivarashrame. Tasthau kanchit sakalam cha munina tena satkritaha. Itaschetascha vicharams tasmin munivarashrame.
So chintayat tada tatra.
So chintayat tada tatra. So chintayat tada tatra.
So again, so you have to elongate. So chintayat tada tatra.
So chintayat tada tatra. So chintayat tada tatra.
Mamatva krishta chetanaha.
Mamatva krishta chetanaha. Mamatva krishta chetanaha.
So chintayat tada tatra mamatva krishta chetanaha.
So chintayat tada tatra mamatva krishta chetanaha. Sochintayat tada tatra mamatva krishna chetanaha.
Matpurvaih palitam purvam.
Matpurvaih palitam purvam. Matpurvaih palitam purvam.
Maya hinam puram hitat.
Maya hinam puram hitat. Maya hinam puram hitat.
So, puram hitat. He is different. So, the he, ha sound is called the antaswara. It is a slightly different sound, except like we have many sounds, right? Like each sound I explained in one of the previous classes. I'm not going to again explain where the originates. Every letter has a position it originates. So ha will originate in your nabhi. That's a special sound. It doesn't originate in the throat area like all the other sounds originate in the mouth area, right? Ha originates in a different place. So it's the nabhi, right? Even navel region. That is where the ha alone originates. So if you are not getting the breath from the navel region, then you will not get the sound. So that is why it is he. Yeah. He. So don't worry about, you will get it later. Like this is also like when you do the yoga practices, right? Like they will say you have to breathe from the navel region and all that. Right? So you will know that once you try to do that, you will get this sound. So matpurvaif if matpurvaif paditam, because it is not matpurvai paditam, matpurvaif paditam purvam maya hinam puram hi tat. So that is how you have to say. And also when online, those who are listening, they said when you are doing the two lines together, they want you to go slowly. So they say that the first line you are doing slowly, then second you are increasing the speed. So do that slowly. I know it's a bit difficult, but always understand one thing. See, there are so many misconceptions all of us have. We all say if somebody is chanting so fast, they feel that because I am chanting so fast, others will think that I am a learned person, that I have practiced so much that I am able to do so fast. But anything, even Carnatic music or Vedic knowledge or anything, or even cycling, doing slow is very difficult. Right? Slow cycling is more difficult than normal cycling because you will fall down, right? You have to have a lot of balance. So when you chant slowly, then what happens is every akshara you have to give importance. And if you chant slowly and make a mistake, the other person can find. So now I want to hide my mistakes. How do I do? I do so fast that other person cannot even get that, right? So that is why learning purposes, you have to chant slowly. But once you learn slowly for so many times perfectly and then practice, during a Parayanam or Homa, you should not do this, like they say chaukam, like you should not lengthen it so much. It is called like Ashwagati, or like how a horse gallops. Right? That is how you have to actually chant during Homa. And so there you should not elongate. You understand? So why I am telling, oh, Guruji in the class said we have to do slowly. That is why the Homa I am sitting and why. So you have to see the context. Same thing, you cannot take some of my words and then extrapolate into so many other results. It is only applicable for what I am saying. You cannot take any of this and in your own life situation extrapolate to other situations. Everything I am saying, it has to be that contextually you have to see that. So because many have asked that, why don't we do in a Chandi Parayanam, why is it so fast? Why you are doing these 2.5 hours? Because we are given a slow chanting which takes 3.5 hours, right? That Devi Mahatmyam. But in a Parayanam, you don't do it. The slow chanting is for beginners. The slow is for, so as you progress, You can increase the speed, but condition is the akshara or anything does not, you don't make a mistake. You can chant how much fast you want without making mistake. That is the thing. Somebody said, can I chant the whole day, 1 hour? I chant. That's okay. But are you not, if you are making mistake and chanting, don't chant. Just make sure you chant like what is possible. Again, I'm saying quantity is not important. Whatever you are doing, even if you are doing little, do it well. Just don't try to, even doing puja, many want to like do so many things and they want to quickly finish. Their mind is not there because they have to attend a call after something. Say, how much ever you do that one alone. Why do you pressure yourself to do so many things in short time and do it wrongly? Limit yourself to what is done correctly. We are in this shloka. So I have to chant the 2 lines, right? 2 lines are the first. Have I chanted the half line fully? Yeah, okay. So chintayat tada tatra mamatva krishta chetanaha matpurvaih palitam purvam maya hinam puram hitat.
So chintayat tada tatra mamatva krishta chetanaha matpurvaih palitam purvam maya hinam puram hitat. So chintayat tada tatra mamatva krishta chetanaha matpurvaih palitam purvam maya hinam puram hitat.
So somebody was asking, can this Devi Mahatmyam chanted in Marathi or Gujarati or Hindi or some? They were asking. So I actually again I think I said many times, this is a Sanskrit shloka, so this has to be chanted in Sanskritam. If you are chanting something which is like English poetry, you have to chant in English. You cannot chant in any other. If you are chanting a Tamil poetry, you have to chant in Tamil. Telugu, you have to chant in Telugu. Sanskritam, you have to chant in Sanskritam. Right? It's a simple, but I think still people get that because their mother tongue is different. So everybody is comfortable in their mother tongue. So everybody wants to chant in their mother tongue. But this is not chanted in mother tongue. This is chanted in Deva Bhasha. Again, it is the Ambal's tongue. So it is still Jaganmata tongue. So it is not, it's a super mother tongue. Right? So Mata tongue is mother tongue. Jaganmata tongue is Sanskritam. So this is Jaganmata tongue. So you still do that. So you have to chant, you have chanted very well this time. So this is how you slowly you chant. Madhrityai staira sayat vrittair
Madhrityai staira
sadvrittair
Madhrityai staira sadvrittair
dharmatah palyate nava dharmatah palyate nava
dharmatah palyate nava
madhrityai staira sadvrittair dharmatah palyate nava
Madhrityai staira sadvrittair dharmatah palyate nava Madhrityai staira sadvrittair dharmatah palyate nava.
So madhrityai, yeah, madhrityai tairasad, taihi asad becomes tairasad, tairasad vrittaihi becomes vrittair, tairasad vrittair dharmataf, dharmatah palyate nava. So again, can you chant?
Madhrityai staira sadvrittair dharmatah palyate nava Madhrityai staira sadvrittair dharmatah palyate nava
Najane sa sapradhano me.
न जाने सप्रधानो मे, न जाने सप्रधानो मे.
So did you notice that which sound here? Pra. Very good. So you should not say pra, like, when you say pa, right? The lips join. So if the lip is joining for like 0.2 second, now you have to elongate, you have to hold the lip for 0.25 seconds. So you'll get that pra. You get that? Because whenever you say papa, babama, the lip will join. So there are two, the matra is more. So najane sapra. Do you see how I say sapradhano me, sapradhano me? Jane sapradhano me, jane sapradhano me. Shurahasti sada madaha,
शूरहस्ति सदा मदः, शूरहस्ति सदा मदः.
najane sapradhano me, shurahasti sada madaha.
न जाने सप्रधानो मे, शूरहस्ति सदा मदः. न जाने सप्रधानो मे, शूरहस्ति सदा मदः.
Madhrityaistairasadvrittair-dharmatah palyate nava, न जाने sapradhano me, shurahasti sada madaha.
मद्धृत्यैस्तैरसद्वृत्तैर्धर्मतः पाल्यते नवा, न जाने सप्रधानो मे, शूरहस्ति सदा मदः. मद्धृत्यैस्तैरसद्वृत्तैर्धर्मतः पाल्यते नवा, न जाने सप्रधानो मे, शूरहस्ति सदा मदः.
Mama vairivasham yatah,
मम वैरिवशं यातः, मम वैरिवशं यातः.
कान्भोगानुपलप्स्यते,
कान्भोगानुपलप्स्यते, कान्भोगानुपलप्स्यते.
So here yataha and kan become yatah kan. Ich. Yataha kan becomes yatah kan. That ich sound again, that you have to listen to this because there is no way to write it. Yatah kan. Yeah. Mama vairivasham yatah kan bhoganupalapsyate.
मम वैरिवशं यातः, कान्भोगानुपलप्स्यते. मम वैरिवशं यातः, कान्भोगानुपलप्स्यते.
Did you figure out where the Diktakshanam? Lapsya, right? Yeah, lapsyate. Now you are all becoming an expert. Very good. Mama, ye, this is ya, y, ye, ya. So y, e, ye. So we have to again focus. So because some will start with a, the vowel a, right? Some will be ye, ye. Do you get the difference? Ya and a. A is one. So a and a, that we can get this, but ya is a bit difficult. Ya and ye. We will tend to say the vowel a. It is not a, it is ye. So the way you say ye, are you able to get the difference, the sound? A and ye. So ye, right? Like you say that. You got it. Yes. Okay. Ye mamanugata nityam.
ये ममानुगता नित्यं, ये ममानुगता नित्यं.
prasada dhana bhojanaihi.
Prasada dhana bhojanaihi. Prasada dhana bhojanaihi.
Ye mamanugata nityam prasada dhana bhojanaihi.
Ye mamanugata nityam prasada dhana bhojanaihi. Ye mamanugata nityam prasada dhana bhojanaihi.
Mama vairivasham yatah kan bhoganupalapsyate. Ye mamanugata nityam prasada dhana bhojanaihi.
Mama vairivasham yatah kan bhoganupalapsyate. Ye mamanugata nityam prasada dhana bhojanaihi. Mama vairivasham yatah kan bhoganupalapsyate. Ye mamanugata nityam prasada dhana bhojanaihi.
So, nityam prasada, that pra also, that prasada dhana bhojanaihi. Anuvrittin dhruvam tedya.
Anuvrittim dhruvam tedya. Anuvrittim dhruvam tedya.
Again, te you have to elongate. Anuvrittin dhruvam tedya.
Anuvrittim dhruvam tedya. Anuvrittim dhruvam tedya.
Kurvantyanyamahi bhritam.
Kurvantyanyamahi bhritam. Kurvantyanyamahi bhritam.
Anuvrittin dhruvam tedya kurvantyanyamahi bhritam.
Anuvrittim dhruvam tedya kurvantyanyamahi bhritam. Anuvrittim dhruvam tedya kurvantyanyamahi bhritam.
Asam yagvyayashilaistair. Taih. So, tai, I will say tai, it's taihi, but you have to, because the next word is ku, right? So, ka, so that ik sound should come. So, asam yag vyaya shi, asam yag vyaya shilaistaihi and kurvadbihi. Asam yagvyaya shilaistaihi.
Asam yagyaya shilaistaihi. Asam yagyaya shilaistaihi.
Kurvadbhis satatam vyayam.
Kurvadbhis satatam vyayam. Kurvadbhis satatam vyayam.
So this taihi and kurvadbhi I will combine now with taih kurvadbhi. Asam yagvyaya shilaistaih kurvadbhis satatam vyayam.
Asam yagyaya shilaistaihi kurvadbhis satatam vyayam. Asam yagyaya shilaistaihi kurvadbhis satatam vyayam.
Again kurvadbhihi satatam becomes kurvadbhis. So whenever the like following letter after visarga is sa, the visarga changes to is sound. So it's not that visarga will always change to is. Sometimes it changes to ir sound, sometimes to is sound, sometimes the ik sound. It changes based on the following letter. Here following letter is starting in sa, so it becomes is. Asam yagvyaya shilaistaihi kurvadbhis satatam vyayam.
Asam yagyaya shilaistaihi kurvadbhis satatam vyayam. Asam yagyaya shilaistaihi kurvadbhis satatam vyayam.
Sanchitas soti dukkhe. Yeah, okay. Both lines together, 2 lines. Anuvrittin dhruvam tedya kurvantyanyamahi bhritam. Asam yagvyaya shilaistaihi kurvadbhis satatam vyayam.
Anuvrittim dhruvam vedya kurvanyanyamahibhritam asamyak vyayashilaiskay kurvadvis satatam vyayam. Anuvrittim dhruvam vedya kurvanyanyamahibhritam asamyak vyayashilaiskay kurvadvis satatam vyayam.
Sanchitasoti dukkhena
Sanchitasoti dukkhena Sanchitasoti dukkhena
Kshayam kosho gamishyati.
Kshayam kosho gamishyati Kshayam kosho gamishyati.
Sanchitasoti dukkhena kshayam kosho gamishyati.
Sanchitasoti dukkhena Kshayam kosho gamishyati. Sanchitasoti dukkhena Kshayam kosho gamishyati.
Etachanyaccha satatam.
Etachanyaccha satatam. Etachanyaccha satatam.
Chintayamasa parthivaha.
Chintayamasa parthivaha. Chintayamasa parthivaha.
Etachanyaccha satatam chintayamasa parthivaha.
Etachanyaccha satatam chintayamasa parthivaha. Etachanyaccha satatam chintayamasa parthivaha.
Tatra vipra. Okay, two lines together. Sanchitasoti dukkhena kshayam kosho gamishyati. Etachanyaccha satatam chintayamasa parthivaha.
Sanchitasoti dukkhena kshayam kosho gamishyati. Etachanyaccha satatam chintayamasa parthivaha. Sanchitasoti dukkhena kshayam kosho gamishyati. Etachanyaccha satatam chintayamasa parthivaha.
Tatra viprashramabhyashe.
Tatra viprashramabhyashe. Tatra viprashramabhyashe.
Vaishyamekam dadarshasah.
Vaishyamekam dadarshasah. Vaishyamekam dadarshasah.
Tatra viprashramabhyashe vaishyamekam dadarshasah.
Tatra viprashramabhyashe vaishyamekam dadarshasah. Tatra viprashramabhyashe vaishyamekam dadarshasah.
Saprishtasthena kastvam bho.
Saprishtasthena kastvambho. Saprishtasthena kastvambho.
So when you say this, I was of the Dvitvakshara, right? Like how you have to give that holding, like give more time for when you give the Dvitvakshara are the conjoined letters. So there are only few actually one exception for it, which is pr. So you should not elongate, you hold that pr for long, like Prithvi. So that is only exception. So why I am giving the exception is you might think it is two letters. So let us give that more. Like the r is like so that r is the one which is a vowel which is joining. So it is only when two consonants are joining, then you give that more. But one consonant, one vowel here, pr. So you don't give that extra extension. So you have to just like just to flow. Normally, how we say with our tongue, we just flows it, right? Flows, right? So you have to say saprishta, saprishtastvena. You should not say sapr like that. You should not say saprishta. So this is the exception. So make note that this is not like any conjoined letter which you hold it. You cannot do this for pr. Saprishtaste. So I don't know whether you could get the difference when I say pr. Saprishtaste, saprishtas. So you just have to smoothly, like a well-oiled thing, it just flows, right? Like an oiled one. You put something, like how you stand in oil, how we will be slipping, right? Like that's just smoothly, just go. So our mouth also, like just, it has to smoothly, we have to say that. Saprishtaste kastwambho.
Saprishtaste kastvambho. Saprishtaste kastvambho.
Hetuschagamanetrakaha.
Hetuschagamanetrakaha. Hetuschagamanetrakaha.
Saprishtaste kastvambho. Hetuschagamanetrakaha.
Saprishtaste kastvambho. Hetuschagamanetrakaha. Saprishtaste kastvambho. Hetuschagamanetrakaha.
Again, bit slow. Yeah. Sashoka iva kasmatvam. 2 lines, okay. 2 lines. Tatra viprashramabhyashe vaishyamekam dadarshasah. Saprishtaste kastvambho hetuschagamanetrakaha.
Tatra viprashramabhyashe vaishyamekam dadarshasah. Saprishtaste kastvambho hetuschagamanetrakaha. Tatra viprashramabhyashe vaishyamekam dadarshasah. Saprishtaste kastvambho hetuschagamanetrakaha.
Sashoka iva kasmatvam.
Sashoka iva kasmatvam. Sashoka iva kasmatvam.
Durmana iva lakshyase.
Durmana iva lakshyase. Durmana iva lakshyase.
Sashoka iva kasmatvam. Durmana iva lakshyase.
Sashoka iva kasmatvam. Durmana iva lakshyase. Sashoka iva kasmatvam. Durmana iva lakshyase.
Ityakarnyavachastasya.
Ityakarnyavachastasya. Ityakarnyavachastasya.
Bhupateh pranayoditam.
Bhupate pranayoditam. Bhupate pranayoditam.
Ityakarnyavachastasya bhupateh pranayoditam.
Ityakarnyavachastasya bhupate pranayoditam. Ityakarnyavachastasya bhupate pranayoditam.
So 2 lines together. Sashoka iva kasmatvam. Durmana iva lakshyase. Ityakarnyavachastasya bhupateh pranayoditam.
Sashoka iva kasmatvam. Durmana iva lakshyase. Ityakarnyavachastasya bhupate pranayoditam. Sashoka iva kasmatvam. Durmana iva lakshyase. Ityakarnyavachastasya bhupate pranayoditam.
Pratyuvacha satam vaishyaha.
Pratyuvacha satam vaishyaha. Pratyuvacha satam vaishyaha.
Prashraya vanato nripam.
Prashraya vanato nripam. Prashraya vanato nripam.
Pratyuvacha satam vaishyah. Prashrayavanato nripam.
Pratyuvacha satam vaishyah prashrayavanato nripam. Pratyuvacha satam vaishyah prashrayavanato nripam.
Vaishyauvacha.
Vaishyauvacha. Vaishyauvacha.
Samadhirnama vaishyoham.
Samadhirnama vaishyoham. Samadhirnama vaishyoham.
Utpanno dhaninam kule.
Utpanno dhaninam kule. Utpanno dhaninam kule.
So aham and utpanna becomes mutpanna. So that mu is because of im and u together. Samadhirnama vaishyoham utpanno dhaninam kule.
Samadhirnama vaishyoham utpanno dhaninam kule. Samadhirnama vaishyoham utpanno dhaninam kule.
So here vaishyo you have to elongate. Samadhirnama vaishyoham utpanno dhaninam kule.
Samadhirnama vaishyoham utpanno dhaninam kule. Samadhirnama vaishyoham utpanno dhaninam kule.
Putradarairdhirastascha.
Putradarairdhirastascha. Putradarairdhirastascha.
Dhanalobhadasadhubhihi.
Dhanalobhadasadhubhihi. Dhanalobhadasadhubhihi.
So dhana lobhadasa. Then asad. Dhana lobhadasadhubhihi. Sadhubhihi. All Mahaprana, it is taking our prana. Like we have to use a lot of prana. Right? In Tamil, it's a prana more, right? Like, it just takes our lot of prana. So, dhana lobhada sadhubhihi. Right? Lobhada sadhubhihi.
Dhana lobhada sadhubhihi.
Putradarairdhirastascha dhana lobhada sadhubhihi.
Putradarairdhirastascha dhana lobhada sadhubhihi. Putradarairdhirastascha dhana lobhada sadhubhihi.
Soham navedmi putam. No. So I will say it together, okay. Putradarairdhirastascha dhana lobha. Okay, second line, okay. Vihinascha dhanairdharaihi.
Vihinascha dhanairdharaihi. Vihinascha dhanairdharaihi.
So vihinascha, again the pattern you should not follow. Vihinascha dhanaihi, right? Dhanaihi dharaihi. So da is soft. So initially you should not say dhanair dharaihi, meaning will be different, right? Dhanaihi means wealth, then dharai or dhara means holding, right? Dhara is somebody different, dharaihi is different, like wives. So vihinascha dhanair dharaihi. Vihinascha dhanair dharaihi.
Vihinascha dhanairdharaihi.
Putrairadaya me dhanam.
Putrairadaya me dhanam. Putrairadaya me dhanam.
Vihinascha dhanairdharaih putrairadaya me dhanam.
Vihinascha dhanairdharaih putrairadaya me dhanam. Vihinascha dhanairdharaih putrairadaya पुत्रैरादाय मे धनम्.
So 2 lines together. Putradarayirnirastascha dhanalobhadasadhubhihi vihinascha dhanairdaraih putrairadaya medhanam.
पुत्रदारैर्निरस्तश्च धनलोभादसाधुभिः विहीनश्च धनैर्दारैः पुत्रैरादाय मे धनम्. पुत्रदारैर्निरस्तश्च धनलोभादसाधुभिः विहीनश्च धनैर्दारैः पुत्रैरादाय मे धनम्.
Vanamabhyagato dukhi
वनमभ्यागतो दुःखी वनमभ्यागतो दुःखी
nirastaschapta bandhubhihi
निरस्तश्चाप्तबन्धुभिः निरस्तश्चाप्तबन्धुभिः.
So, apta bandhu, apta bandhubhihi. So, first ba is only soft. Ba, apta bandhubhihi. Vanamabhyagato dukhi nirastaschapta bandhubhihi.
वनमभ्यागतो दुःखी निरस्तश्चाप्तबन्धुभिः वनमभ्यागतो दुःखी निरस्तश्चाप्तबन्धुभिः.
Soham na vedmi putranam.
सोऽहं न वेद्मि पुत्राणाम् सोऽहं न वेद्मि पुत्राणाम्.
So it is, you have to elongate so, and it is hum. It is so, it is not so gum, it is so hum. Saha aham, right? He and me, right? So hum. So hum. So hum means saha and aham. So hum. So you should not say so gum. It is different. So hum. So hum na vedme putranam.
सोऽहं न वेद्मि पुत्राणाम् सोऽहं न वेद्मि पुत्राणाम्.
Kushala kushalatmikam.
कुशला कुशलात्मिकाम् कुशला कुशलात्मिकाम्.
Soham na vedmi putranam. Kushala kushalatmikam.
सोऽहं न वेद्मि पुत्राणाम् कुशला कुशलात्मिकाम्. सोऽहं न वेद्मि पुत्राणाम् कुशला कुशलात्मिकाम्.
So 2 lines together. Vanamabhyagato dukhi nirastaschapta bandhubhihi. Soham na vedmi putranam. Kushala kushalatmikam.
वनमभ्यागतो दुःखी निरस्तश्चाप्तबन्धुभिः सोऽहं न वेद्मि पुत्राणाम् कुशला कुशलात्मिकाम्. वनमभ्यागतो दुःखी निरस्तश्चाप्तबन्धुभिः सोऽहं न वेद्मि पुत्राणाम् कुशला कुशलात्मिकाम्.
Pravrittim svajananam cha.
प्रवृत्तिं स्वजनानां च प्रवृत्तिं स्वजनानां च
Dharanam chatra samsthitah.
दाराणां चात्र संस्थितः दाराणां चात्र संस्थितः.
Pravrittim svajananam cha dharanam chatra samsthitah.
प्रवृत्तिं स्वजनानां च दाराणां चात्र संस्थितः प्रवृत्तिं स्वजनानां च दाराणां चात्र संस्थितः.
किन्नु तेषां गृहे क्षेमम्
किन्नु तेषां गृहे क्षेमम् किन्नु तेषां गृहे क्षेमम्.
So kim nu, you can say kinnu, yeah, because it's optional. Kinnu tesham grihe kshemam.
Kinnu tesham grihe kshemam. Kinnu tesham grihe kshemam.
Akshemam kinnu sampratam.
Akshemam kinnu sampratam. Akshemam kinnu sampratam.
Kinnu tesham grihe kshemam akshemam kinnu sampratam.
Kinnu tesham grihe kshemam akshemam kinnu sampratam. Kinnu tesham grihe kshemam akshemam kinnu sampratam.
So kshemam and akshemam, it joins together as kshemam akshemam. The R is now changed to ma. Kinnu tesham grihe kshemam akshemam kinnu sampratam. So 2 lines together. So wait for the 2 lines. Don't start before that. Wait for the 2. Pravrittim svajananam cha dharanam chatra samsthitaha kinnu tesham grihe kshemam akshemam kinnu sampratam.
Pravrittim svajananam cha dharanam chatra samsthitaha kinnu tesham grihe kshemam akshemam kinnu sampratam. Pravrittim svajananam cha dharanam chatra samsthitaha kinnu tesham grihe kshemam akshemam kinnu sampratam.
Kathante kinnu sadvritta.
Katham te kinnu sadvritta. Katham te kinnu sadvritta.
Durvrittah kinnu me sutah.
Durvrittah kinnu me sutah. Durvrittah kinnu me sutah.
So it is Katham te kinnu sadvritta. Durvrittaha kim becomes Durvrittah kinnu me sutaha. Kinnu me sutaha. That in you have to say because it is kim. Kim nu me sutaha. So kathante kinnu sadvritta durvrittah kinnu me sutaha.
Katham te kinnu sadvritta durvritta kinnu me sutaha. Katham te kinnu sadvritta durvritta kinnu me sutaha.
Rajovacha.
Rajovacha. Rajovacha.
Yairnirasto bhavallubdhaihi.
Yairnirasto bhavallubdhaihi. Yairnirasto bhavallubdhaihi.
Bhavallubdhaihi. You see how I say that's just hear the sound. So there is the Chandra Bindu on top, right? So Yairnirasto bhavallubdhaihi.
Yairnirasto bhavallubdhaihi. Yairnirasto bhavallubdhaihi.
Putradarādibhirdhanaihi.
Putradarādibhirdhanaihi. Putradarādibhirdhanaihi.
Yairnirasto bhavallubdhaihi. Putradarādibhirdhanaihi.
Yairnirasto bhavallubdhaihi. Putradarādibhirdhanaihi. Yairnirasto bhavallubdhaihi. Putradarādibhirdhanaihi.
Te Teshu kim bhavatas sneham.
Teshu kim bhavatas sneham. Teshu kim bhavatas sneham.
Anubadhnati manasam.
Anubadhnati manasam. Anubadhnati manasam.
Teshu kim bhavatas sneham anubadhnati manasam.
Teshu kim bhavatas sneham anubadhnati manasam. Teshu kim bhavatas sneham anubadhnati manasam.
So sneham anubadhnati sneham manu. Teshu kim bhavatas sneham anubadhnati badhnati. Right? Teshu kim bhavatas sneham anubadhnati manasam.
Teshu kim bhavatas sneham anubadhnati manasam. Teshu kim bhavatas sneham anubadhnati manasam.
Vaishyauvacha.
Vaishyauvacha. Vaishyauvacha.
Evametad yatha praha.
Evametad yatha praha. Evametad yatha praha.
Bhavanasmadgatam vachaha.
Bhavanasmadgatam vachaha. Bhavanasmadgatam vachaha.
Evametad yatha praha bhavanasmadgatam vachaha.
Evametad yatha praha bhavanasmadgatam vachaha. Evametad yatha praha bhavanasmadgatam vachaha.
So that evametad yatha, right? Metad yatha id. So it is like alpa prana, soft da, right? Because like it's like vidya, that dya. So many tend to say, when you say vidya, they say vidya. Because they want to say, to tell others that they are saying correctly. Vidya. If you give this was vidya, it is still more wrong. Just say, because the correct word is only vidya. Right? Some Sri Vidya, is wrong. It is Sri Vidya. Get that, right? Vidya is the word, knowledge, right? Vidya. So you should not stress that. Because in the Sanskrit or the Devanagari script, right? The way you write Dhya and Dhya is almost similar. Have you noticed it? Dhya and Dhya are almost similar. So we tend to overlook and say, instead of Udyanam, right? Garden, right? People say Udyanam. It is Udyan. So there it is only soft da, Udyanam. Dhyanam is different. Meditation, right? Dhyanam. So Udyanam means like garden. The Udyan, you all know that, right? So how small, subtle difference makes a totally different meaning. So that is why it is Eva metad etat. Then becomes that etat becomes etad and yatha. So it together becomes Eva metad yatha praha pra. Get that subtle thing. Eva metad yatha praga bhavanasmad gatam vachaha. Yeah.
Evametad yatha praha bhavanasmadgatam vachaha. Evametad yatha praha bhavanasmadgatam vachaha.
So now I want you to, all of you, chant from Om Namas Chandikayai to the 30th verse altogether. Yeah. Yeah, all of you chant, yeah.
Om Namah Chandikayai. Om Aim Markandeya Uvacha. Savarne Surya Tanayo Yomanukatyateshtamaha. Nishamayata Dutpattim Vistarat Gadato Mama. महामायानुभावेन यथा मन्वन्तराधिपः स बभूव महाभागः सावर्णिस्तनयो रवेः स्वारोचिषे तरे पूर्वं चैत्रवंशसमुद्भवः सुरथो नाम राजाभूत् समस्ते क्षितिमण्डले तस्य पालयतः सम्यक् प्रजाः पुत्राणि वौरसान् बभूव शत्रवो भूपाः कोला विध्वंसिनस्तदा तस्य तैरभवद्युद्धमतिप्रबलदण्डिनः न्यूनैरपि सतैर्युद्धे कोला विध्वंसिभिर्जितः ततः स्वपुरमायातो निजदेशाधिको भवत् आक्रान्तः स महाभागस्तैस्तदा प्रबलानिधिः अमात्यैर्बलिभिर्दुष्टैर्दुर्बलस्य दुरात्मभिः कोशो बलं चापहृतं तत्रापि स्वपुरे ततः ततो मृगया व्याजेन हृतस्वाम्यः स भूपतिः एकाकीयमारुह्य जगामगहनं वनम् स तत्राश्रममद्राक्षी द्विजवर्यस्य मेधसः प्रशान्तश्वापदाकीर्णं मुनिशिष्योपशोभितम् तस्थौ कञ्चित् सकालं च मुनिनाथेन सत्कृतः इतश्चेतश्च विचरन् तस्मिन् मुनिवराश्रमे सोचिन्तयत्तदा तत्र ममत्वाकृष्टचेतनः मत्पूर्वैः पालितं पूर्वं मया हीनं पुरं हितत् मद्भृत्यैस्तैरसद्भृत्यैर्धर्मतः पाल्यते न वा न जाने स प्रधानो मे शूरहस्ती सदा मदः मम वैरिवशं यातः कान्धो गानुपलप्स्यते ये ममानुगता नित्यं प्रसादधनभोजनैः अनुवृत्तिं ध्रुवं ते कुर्वन्त्यन्यमहीभृताम् असम्यग्व्ययशीलैस्तैः कुर्वद्भिः सततं व्ययम् सञ्चितस्सोऽधिदुःखेन क्षयं कोशो गमिष्यति एतच्चान्यच्च सततं चिन्तयामास पार्थिवः तत्र विप्राश्रमाभ्यासे वैश्यमेकं ददर्श सः स पृष्टस्तेन कस्त्वं भो हेतुश्चागमने भटः सशोक इव कस्मात् त्वं दुर्मना इव लक्ष्यसे इत्याकर्ण्यवचस्तस्य भूपतेः प्रणयोदितम् प्रत्युवाच स तं वैश्यः प्रश्रया वरदो नृपम् वैश्य उवाच समाधिर्नाम वैश्योऽहमुत्पन्नो धनिनां कुले पुत्रदारैर्निरस्तश्च धनलोभालसाधुभिः विहीनश्च धनैर्दारैः पुत्रैरादाय मे धनम् वनमभ्यागतो दुःखी निरस्तश्चाप्तबन्धुभिः सोऽहं न वेद्मि पुत्राणां कुशलात्मिकाम् प्रवृत्तिं स्वजनानां च दाराणां चात्र संस्थितः किं नु तेषां गृहे क्षेममक्षेमं किं नु साम्प्रतम् कथं ते किं नु सद्वृत्ता दुर्वृत्ता किं नु मे सुताः राजोवाच यैर्निरस्तो भवालुब्धैः पुत्रदारादिभिर्धनैः तेषु किं भवतस्येकमनुबध्नाति मानसम् वैश्योवाच एवमेतद्यथा प्राह भवानस्मद्गतं वचः किं करोमि.
So we have started the until the first 30, which we have learned until now. So the 27th verse is Yer nirasto bhaval lubdhaihi. Like that bhavan in will become like close to the ill sound. That's why bhaval lubdhai. So there is in is there. In and ill, it's a combination. Bhaval. So you have to rotate your tongue upwards to get this sound. So yer nerasto bhavan lubdhaihi. So if you rotate internally, inside you will get this sound. So these are all some unique sounds. So somebody was wanting to know, but you all chanted very well. So this is we have come learned until the 30th verse, where the Devi Mahatmyam. This is how it starts. The Markandeya Rishi explains this person. We have like 7 Manus. We are in the 7th Manu. He explains that the 6th, each Manvantara means, what is this Manvantara? Huh? Vaivasvata Manvantara. So we all say in the Sankalpa, Vaivasvata Manvantare. So there are the Swarojisha Manvantara, like many Manvantaras, like 6 have been gone. 6. So now we are in the 7th Manvantara. Manvantara means that person is like the Lord for this. So a human who has got to that level, or got the blessing or a boon, will become a Manu. So this is the Vaivasvata or Vivaswan. Vivaswan is the Manu's head. So he becomes Vaivasvata Manvantare. So then the 7th Manu, he is saying that I am now going to tell you the story of the future 8th Manu. So we are in the 7th Manvantara. Now he is telling the story for future, who will be the 8th ruler for the 8th Manu is called the Savarnihi. And who is that Savarni? His name is Savarni. Surya Tanaya. He is the son of the Lord Surya. So because he is the Surya Tanaya or Surya's son, it becomes Savarnihi Surya Tanaya. That is, his name becomes Savarnihi. And he also is going to become the 8th Manu. So let me tell you that story. That's how it starts. And then he says like what happens to the Savarni, the Raja who is driven by his own people. He was not defeated by external enemies, right? So when something bad happens from somebody who you consider very, very close to you, then the unhappiness or the hurt you feel is much more. If somebody enemy hurts you, you don't feel a hurt at all because you don't. It's like you expect, either you expect it or it doesn't even come. You are okay. It doesn't bother you because you don't like them, or it's okay. But when somebody is so close to you and they hurt you, you feel that much like it's so difficult to get that right. So the Raja, being driven by his own people who he tended, his own commander, his own, all those who are assisting him, if they drive him out of the kingdom, he feels very, very sad. Because what they did is, he was a very powerful king, and he had a lot of armies, navy, all this, everything. He had all the bala. But what they did, they joined hands with the enemy king. So it is very. So once they join his own soldiers, if they join the enemy king, how can he fight? Because he thought, I will send my soldiers, and now his soldiers are coming to fight with him because they joined hands with the enemies. So that is why this, how bad he will be feeling. So that is why he goes to the forest with this sadness. And there he also meets another person who is also in the same boat. He is in the same suffering. In fact, his suffering is much more, because that is why he says, like, I have been so good a father and also so good husband. So he was very, very rich person, and he had many wives and many sons and daughters, many people within his family. And he was very kind. He had so much wealth that everybody was happy, but he was also doing a lot of dana, or giving like charity. So he was doing a lot of charity because he had so much wealth, and he knew that the wealth he had for all the family will be much more. So he thought, let me also do good dharma, and so he started. Then the family, they thought, if this person, having earned all this wealth, now if he starts donating, what will we have? So they got bit worried about their own situation. So they all thought, they were all the wives together and the family, they all met without the father. So the best thing is to drive this father out so that this he doesn't do any dana dharma. And say they forgot that he is the one who earned all that, and he has been as his own children. He had so much love for his family, and now they turned against him. And then he goes like, what is this situation? The one I love most so much, they are my almost like they say like atmaja, right? Like sons or daughters, they are your own because they are born from our own. I love them so much, but now they turn against me, and so that is why his hurt was unbearable. And not only that hurt, still that is why they later on the question levels, and he was thinking, are they still okay? Kshema maksham, are they kshema? Or is that no negative things are happening? Are my sons okay? Or so they are the one they drove him out, but his affection, his passion, right, his attachment to his own family is so much that he's still worried about them. So he's not worried that he has been one hurt is there, but he's not worried about him that he has been driven out. He's worried whether they will do the business properly, or the enemies or other say when you do a business, when you don't do it properly, a big company or big business can become like bankrupt within few years if it is not managed properly. So he's worried that whether they will manage properly the business, everything is worried. So both now they have met. So this is until the 30th chapter. So they have now meeting. So now still they have not gone to the guru, but they are just exchanging each one's problems, the king and the Vaishya. That is where we are. So you have you all chanted so well until the 30th chapter, 30th sloka verse, and then from the 31st verse we will start in next class. And the next class will be we will announce, it will be Wednesday. The time, if it is in the PST or the Pacific time, Bay Area, you have to see that time for you. Yeah. Okay. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha.